Welcome back again, students, to another video lesson. So after we define and illustrate rational algebraic expressions, so for this particular video lesson, we will be simplifying rational algebraic expressions. So let's start. So for our lesson objectives, first, we will be illustrating the steps in simplifying rational algebraic expressions. And then, ang sabi ko nga, we will be applying factoring techniques in simplifying rational algebraic expressions. So, kahit natapos na po yung lesson natin sa factoring, so maa-apply pa rin po dito yung mga factoring techniques sa pag-simplify ng mga rational algebraic expressions. So, let's have simplifying rational algebraic expressions. So the process of simplifying rational algebraic expressions is the same as the process of reducing fractions into its simplest form. So kung paano natin sinisimplify yung mga fractions, so halos ganun din po dito sa pagsimplify ng rational algebraic expressions. So kasi yung mga fractions, mga numbers lang po sila. Kapag kasi algebraic expressions na, kasama na po dito yung mga variables. So what are the steps in simplifying rational algebraic expressions? The first one, we need to factor both numerator and denominator completely if possible. So we have there the word if possible. So there are rational algebraic expressions that cannot be simplified kasi yun na talaga yung sagot. So wala tayong makukuhang common factor, common term. And then, we will cancel out common term or terms to both numerator and denominator. So after nating i-apply yung factoring techniques, so that's the time na pwede na tayong mag-cancel ng mga common terms to both numerator and denominator. So let's have examples of simplified rational algebraic expressions. So ayan po yung ating mga examples. So yung mga examples po na yan na simplified rational algebraic expressions, we cannot simplify them further. It's because wala na po tayong mga common factors. Okay, like for example, 3/5, yan na po talaga yung lowest term niya. Negative 4z all over 15, ganun din po. A squared all over b cubed. And then, y plus 2 all over y minus 2. So as you can see, meron po tayong variable y sa numerator and then sa denominator. So pwede lang po natin i-cancel yung y sa numerator and denominator kapag wala po yung mga operation na plus and minus na yan. Ganon din po sa 2 tsaka 2. So kapag po may operations sa gitna ng bawat terms na yan, hindi po natin pwedeng i-cancel out. And then 5n cubed all over 2n squared plus 8. Although 2n squared plus 8, pwede natin siyang i-factor using greatest common monomial factor. Kahit i-factor po kasi natin yan, wala naman pong makakancel dahil kung ang common factor ng 2n squared plus 8 is 2, so yung numerator natin is 5, so wala pong ibang common factor ang 5 tsaka 2 kundi 1. So next, x squared minus 2x plus 10 all over 6x plus 7. So pag iisip po tayo ng factors ng 10 na makukuha yung negative 2, wala pong factor na ganon. And then 6x plus 7, ang greatest common monomial factor lang po nila is 1. Okay, so kapag finactor po natin ng 1, ganun pa rin po, 6x plus 7. So this is already in simplified form. Next, 2p squared minus 3 all over 9p squared minus 9p plus 6. So ganun din po. So wala po tayong common factor dito. Hindi po kasi natin mapafactor yung numerator tsaka po yung denominator. For first set of examples, we'll have loss of exponents muna. So, i-apply natin yung loss of exponents sa pag-simplify ng mga expressions. Like for example, number 1, 36a to the 5th power all over 48a squared. So, dun muna po tayo sa 36 tsaka 48. So, yung greatest common factor ng 36 tsaka 48 is 12. So, if we divide 36 over 48 by 12 over 12, so, ang sagot po natin dito is 3 over 4 or 3/4. And then, dun tayo sa variable. So, copy lang natin 3/4 and then a raised to 5 minus 2. Kasi quotient of powers, magsusubtract tayo sa mga exponents with same bases. Next, 3/4 tapos a, 5 minus 2, that is 3. So, our final answer is 3/4 a cubed or pwede rin po siyang 3a cubed all over 4. So this will be our final answer. Next naman po, negative 28a cubed b squared c to the 5th power all over 49b to the 5th power c to the 4th power. Okay, so dun muna tayo sa negative 28 tsaka 49. So yung greatest common factor ng dalawang number na yan is 7. So negative 28 divided by 7, that is negative 4. 49 divided by 7, that is 7. So that is negative 4, 7. Copy lang natin. And then, a cube, kung mapapansin nyo, wala po tayong ima-minus sa a cube dahil wala naman pong variable a sa denominator. So magiging a cube lang po. Ikakopy lang natin. Next, sa b squared naman, b raised to 2 minus 5. And then sa c, c raised to 5 minus 4. Next, negative 4 over 7 a cube. So b raised to 2 minus 5, that is negative 3. And then c raised to 5 minus 4, that is only c. And then meron tayo ditong negative exponents, yung b. So ang final answer po natin dito dapat, negative 4 a cube c all over 7b cube. Okay, so tandaan, kapag may negative exponent sa numerator, dalhin sa denominator para maging positive yung exponents. Likewise, kapag may negative exponents na term sa denominator, dalhin lang sa numerator para maging positive. Next, 30x to the 4th power y squared z to the 7th power all over 25x squared y to the 9th power z cubed. So the greatest common factor of 30 and 25 is 5. So 30 divided by 5, that is 6. 25 divided by 5, that is 5. So copy lang natin 6 over 5 or 6 pip. And then, dun tayo sa mga variables, x raised to 4 minus 2, y raised to 2 minus 9, z raised to 7 minus 3. Okay, next. 6 pip, x raised to 4 minus 2, that is 2. Y raised to 2 minus 9, that is negative 7. Z raised to 7 minus 3, that is 4. So, meron tayong negative exponents dito. So, isang term lang po yung y. So, dadalhin po natin siya sa denominator. So, our final answer will be 6x squared z to the 4th power all over 5y to the 7th power. So, this will be our final answer. So, yung next examples po natin, puro po factoring techniques naman ang i-apply natin sa pag-simplify ng rational expressions. Like for example, number 1, 3x plus 15 all over 18. So, kukunin natin yung greatest common monomial factor ng 3 tsaka 15. And that is 3. So, and then, ipa-factor natin yung 3 sa labas. And then, yung term sa loob, so 3x divided by 3, that is x. And then 15 divided by 3, that is 5. So, ito po yung factored form ng 3x plus 15 and then over 18. Now, yung common factor natin na 3 tsaka 18, meron silang common factor. So, yung greatest common factor nila is 3. So, pag dinivide natin yung 3 sa 3, 1 na lang po yun. And then, yung 18 sa 3, magiging 6. So, our final answer will be x plus 5 all over 6. Ayan. Next, 7y minus 56 all over 14y plus 35. So, the greatest common monomial factor of 7 and 56, that is 7. So, ipa-factor natin yung 7, and then yung matitira sa loob, 7y divided by 7y, and then negative 56 divided by 7, that is negative 8. All over, so factor ng 14y plus 35, yung greatest common factor nila is 7 din. So, ang mangyayari, 7, and then sa loob, 14y divided by 7, that is 2y, and then 35 divided by 7, that is 5. And then we cancel out common term or terms. So makikita nyo, 7 tsaka 7, common po yan. So kinancel po natin. So our final answer will be y minus 8 all over 2y plus 5. So yung final answer po natin yan, simplified na po yan. So hindi na po natin pwede pang i-simplify. Next example, 32 all over 8a minus 40. So rewrite lang natin yung 32. And then, what is the greatest common factor of 8 and 40? That is 8. So i-factor natin yung 8 and then yung term sa loob ng parenthesis. So 8a divided by 8. So makakancel yung 8. A na lang matitira. Negative 40 divided by 8, that is negative 5. So ayan po ang factored form ng 8a minus 40. 8 times the quantity a minus 5. Now, we can cancel out 32 and 8 kasi yung greatest common factor nilang dalawa is 8. So yung 32, divide natin sa 8, 4. Yung 8, divide natin sa 8, 1 na lang po yun. So our final answer will be 4 all over a minus 5. Again, simplified na po yan. Next, m squared minus 25 all over m plus 5. So as you can see, yung ating numerator dito can be factored using difference of two squares. So that will become m plus 5 tsaka m minus 5. Tandaan, pag factoring of difference between two squares, so pareho po yung term, kaya lang magkaiba po ng sign. So, and then, i-rewrite natin yung denominator m plus 5. So, meron po tayong pwedeng i-cancel dyan na term. That is m plus 5. So, cancel natin m plus 5 tsaka m plus 5 sa baba. So, ang matitira na lang po is m minus 5. And then, ano yung magiging denominator niya? So, since na-cancel yung m plus 5, 1 na lang po ang matitira. So, m minus 5 over 1, m minus 5 pa rin po. So, this will be our final answer. So next example po natin, number 5, 6p plus 42q all over p squared minus 49q squared. So kung matatandaan nyo po kanina, in-apply po natin yung greatest common monomial factor tsaka yung difference of two squares. So ganun pa rin po dito, apply po rin po natin. So the greatest common factor of 6p and 42q is 6. So magkaiba po kasi ang p tsaka q. So 6, sulat po natin sa labas. And then, yung term sa loob, so 6p divided by 6, that is p. And then, 42q divided by 6, that is 7q. All over, so yung p squared minus 49q squared, using factoring difference of two squares, magiging p minus 7q times p plus 7q. So, regardless po dito yung order. So, kung naunan yung sinulat, p plus 7q, tapos huli yung p minus 7q, okay lang po yun. As long as yun talaga yung mga factors. And then, pwede na tayo mag-cancel out ng common terms. So, yung p plus 7q sa numerator, saka yung p plus 7q sa denominator. So, pwede po yan i-cancel. So, our final answer will be 6 all over p minus 7q. Next, 9x squared minus 64 all over 6x plus 16. So, using factoring difference of two squares, so 9x squared minus 64, so the square root of 9x squared, that is 3x. So, sulat lang po natin. So, dalawang nakaparenthesis, 3x. And then, yung isa plus, yung isa minus. Now, the square root of 64 is 8. So, sulat lang po natin yung 8. And then all over, so 6x plus 16 using greatest common monomial factor, ang GCF ng terms na to is 2. So factor natin yung 2 and then 6x divided by 2, that is 3x. 16 divided by 2, that is 8. So 3x plus 8. Now, we will be canceling out common terms. 3x plus 8 sa numerator, tsaka 3x plus 8 sa denominator. So, our final answer will be 3x minus 8 all over 2. So let's have example number 7 and 8. So 7 muna, 3m plus 21 all over m squared plus 14m plus 49. So we factor out the greatest common factor of 3m and 21, that is 3. And then 3m plus 21 divided by 3, makukuha natin yung terms na nasa loob ng parenthesis. 3m divided by 3, that is m. 21 divided by 3, that is 7. Next. Using factoring difference of two squares, so ang gagawin natin dito, extract natin yung square root ng first term, copy natin yung sign ng middle term, and then extract natin yung square root ng last term. And then i-check natin kung yung product ba nung first and last term, tapos minultiply sa 2, lilitaw yung gitna. Okay, so ang mangyayari, the square root of m squared, that is m, copy the sign of the middle term, and then square root of 49, that is 7, and then squared. Okay? So, ito pong the quantity of m plus 7 squared, pwede din po natin siyang isulat as m plus 7 times m plus 7. Okay? So, shortcut lang po yung the quantity of m plus 7 squared. Okay? Now, we can cancel out common terms. So, m plus 7, makakancel. Tapos, yung isang m plus 7 dito sa denominator, so itong 2, magiging 1 na lang po. Okay, so final answer natin is 3 all over m plus 7. Next, for number 8, k squared minus 10k plus 25 all over 4k minus 20. So, using factoring difference of two squares pa rin. So, the square root of k squared, that is k. And then copy the sign of the middle term. Square root of 25, that is 5. So, pwede natin isulat na ganito, k minus 5 times k minus 5. Okay. So, kapag minultiply natin yung k sa negative 5, negative 5k. Times natin sa 2, magiging negative 10k na makukuha yung ating middle term. Next. Yung 4k minus 20, pwede natin siyang i-factor using general greatest common monomial factor. So, yung GCF is 4. So, 4 times 4k minus 20, divide natin sa 4. 4k divided by 4, that is k. Negative 20 divided by 4, that is 5. So, pwede na po tayo ngayong mag-cancel out ng common terms. So, that is k minus 5 and k minus 5. So, our final answer, k minus 5 all over 4. So, lagi po nating i-check yung nasa middle term kapag po factoring perfect square trinomial ang ginagamit na technique. So, kahit na extract natin yung first term tsaka yung last term, hindi naman nakuha yung nasa gitna, hindi po yun pwede. So, let's have number 9 and 10. Number 9, 4x squared minus 81y squared all over 4x squared plus 36xy plus 81y squared. So, yung ating numerator can be factored using difference of two squares. So, that is the square root of 4x squared, that is 2x, plus the square root of 81, that is 9. Tapos, yung y squared, y. So, 2x plus 9y times 2x minus 9y. Okay. So, madali lang po kasing factoring difference of two squares. Dahil pareho lang po yung term, magkaiba lang ng sign. Next, yung nasa denominator naman po. So, the square root of 4x squared, that is 2x. So, dito naman po gagamitin po natin is factoring perfect square trinomial. And then, the square root of 81y squared, that is 9y. So, sulat lang natin kasi magkapareho lang naman sila. And then, tsaka natin po i-cancel yung mga common terms. So, 2x plus 9y, 2x plus 9y. So, our final answer will be 2x minus 9y all over 2x plus 9y. So, as you can see, pareho po yung mga terms. Numerator and denominator, magkaiba lang po ng sign. So, hindi po natin yan pwedeng i-cancel at sabihin 1 ang sagot. Pero kung, halimbawa, itong minus, pinalitan ko yan ng plus. ang final answer po natin is 1. So, since minus po yan, plus yung sa baba, so yung final answer po natin is 2x minus 9y all over 2x plus 9y. Next, number 10, 5z plus 10 all over z squared plus 3z plus 2. So, dito naman po, greatest common monomial factor, tsaka yung general quadratic trinomial. So, dito muna tayo sa numerator. So, yung greatest common factor is 5. And then, 5z plus 10 divided by 5, that is z plus 2. Now, we factor the trinomial on the denominator. So, what are the factors of 2 that will give a sum of 3? The middle term. The coefficient of the middle term. So, that is 1 and 2. Pwede natin sulat as z plus 1 times z plus 2. Again, regardless of the order. So, kung una mong sinulat z plus 2, tapos z plus 1, okay lang po yun. Now, we cancel out common terms, z plus 2, z plus 2. So, final answer natin is 5 all over z plus 1. Number 11, 2b minus 12 all over b squared plus 2b minus 48. So, maganda na alam nyo yung mga technique sa factoring kasi mas mabilis yung pagsisimplify natin ng rational expressions kapag familiar na kayo sa mga factoring techniques. So, number 11, 2b minus 12 all over b squared plus 2b minus 48. So, yung greatest common factor ng 2b tsaka negative 12 is 2. So, 2b minus 12 divided by 2, that is b minus 6. Okay. All over, so b squared plus 2b minus 48 can be factored using factoring general quadratic trinomial. So, what are the factors of negative 48? That will give the sum, which is the coefficient of the middle term, 2. Okay. So, negative 48, so magiging b plus 8, tsaka b minus 6. So, paano naging plus b plus 8 plus b minus 6? So, kasi po, yung middle term po natin is plus. And then, yung isa sa mga factors ng 48 na malaki, yun ang magiging positive. So, for example, kung minus 2b siya, yung 8, hindi siya positive. Hindi siya plus. Minus siya. Then, we can cancel out b minus 6. So, our final answer will be 2 over b plus 8. Okay. Again, we cannot cancel 2 tsaka 8. It's because meron pong operation or may mga terms pa na nakalagay before 8. Okay. Next, r squared plus 5r minus 36 all over r squared minus 81. So, using general quadratic trinomial, so yung factors po ng negative 36, tapos positive yung nasa gitna, is 9 or r9 and 4. So, positive yung 9 sa gitna, so magiging r plus 9 times r minus 4. Next, all over, so factoring difference of 2 squared, r squared minus 81, magiging r plus 9 times r minus 9. We can cancel out r plus 9, r plus 9. So, our final answer will be r minus 4 all over r minus 9. So, let's have number 13. W squared minus 8w plus 16 all over w squared plus w minus 20. So, yung ating numerator, so pwede natin siyang i-factor using perfect square trinomial. That is w minus 4 times w minus 4. So, paano natin yan nakuha? Square root of w squared, that is w, and then we copy the sign of the middle term, minus, and then the square root of 16, the last term is 4. All over, so using general quadratic trinomial, so factor natin yung denominator. What are the factors of negative 20 that will give a sum of 1, which is the coefficient of the middle term? So that is w plus 5 times w minus 4. Again, to check, So, 5 times negative 4. That is negative 20, di ba? So, yung last term. 5 plus negative 4 or 5 minus 4, W. So, yung coefficient ng W is 1. Now, we can cancel out common terms. W minus 4, W minus 4. So, our final answer will be W minus 4 all over W plus 5. Next, number 14. S squared minus 2s minus 35 all over s squared minus 9s plus 14. So, pareho po yung general quadratic trinomial. So, ano po yung mga factors ng negative 35 na magbibigay ng sum na negative 2? That is s minus 7 times s plus 5. Okay. As you can see, negative po yung sign ng middle term, kaya po yung mataas sa dalawang factors ng 35, negative, which is 7. And then, yung factors ng 14 na magbibigay ng negative 9 na sum. Okay. So, pareho po silang negative. Kasi po, kapag minultiply natin ang negative sa negative, that is positive. Now, we cancel out common terms, s minus 7, s minus 7. So, our final answer will be s plus 5 all over s minus 2. So, for our last example, so, i-apply naman natin dito yung sum of two cubes, tsaka yung general quadratic trinomial. So, paano nga ba mag-factor ulit ng sum of two cubes? So, extract the cube root of the first term. That is a. Then, follow the sign of the operation between a cube and 27, that is plus. And then, the cube root of 27, that is 3, times. So, paano natin makukuha yung trinomial factor dito? So, yung ano po, yung a, squared po natin, that is a squared. And then, since sum of two cubes po ang pinag-uusapan natin, alternate po yung sign ng trinomial factor. So, magiging minus. And then, multiply natin yung first term and last term ng binomial factor, that is 3a. And then, square natin yung 3 na last term ng binomial factor, that is 9. So, yan po yung factor ng a cubed plus 27. Next. So, what are the factors of negative 24 that will give the sum equal to the coefficient of the middle term? So, negative 5 dapat ang makuha natin. So, a minus 8 tsaka a plus 3. So, ayan. And then, cancel natin yung mga common terms, a plus 3, tsaka a plus 3. Tapos, sulat natin yung natira, a squared minus 3a plus 9 all over a minus 8. Can we factor a squared minus 3a plus 9? So, hindi na po. So, this will be our final answer. A squared minus 3a plus 9 all over a minus 8. So, I hope naging clear sa inyo yung pag-simplify ng rational expressions using yung laws of exponents as well as yung mga factoring techniques. So, mag-practice pa kayo ng pag-factor ng mga polynomials kasi napakadali lang mag-simplify ng mga rational expressions kapag aware na kayo sa mga factoring techniques. So, after we've discussed illustration of rational expressions and simplifying them, so our next lesson, of course, will focus on the operations on rational algebraic expressions. So, yung mga operations na to, of course, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So, babalik na rin natin dito since mas madali yung operation na multiplication and division. Sa susunod kong video lesson, ang focus muna ng ating discussion ay yung multiplication tsaka division. Okay, kasi basta alam nga yung factoring techniques, mabilis na lang yung mag-perform ng operation using multiplication and division. So, and then, last natin yung addition and subtractions. So, yun lang. Maraming salamat.